Here we go. Set. 60 or.
Record. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Blue draw Corkers.
Check 13. Check.
Bam.
Check nickel.
Rock it. Hey.
SOS.
Go.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check 24. Check 37.
Undercross. Look at me. Door.
Flare.
On the toss, here's Williams. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
So you got.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Hey, watch it.
Wide. Get wide.
Slant.
Ready.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the shift.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Roll out.
There you go. Shoot. Slam.
Hey, Sam off. Hey, lock it.
Check 15.
Get it.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready? 15 line.
Crunch time, defense.
Hey. High 7.
48's the mic. Check. 48's the mic.
Now.
2nd and 11. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Shit.
Gone.
Hey, alert 3. Check 52. Watch it.
Now.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Go!
On second down, Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Hey, let go.
Hey, alert 48. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
Smooth.
Check 48. Check 48.
They'll drop the throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Come on, set. 50, plant.
37. Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better.
Pilot, 64, reach.
25, check 25. Shift.
Leo. Man, fire.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch the run. Switch.
Rock it.
Hey, switch gears.
Look, squeeze.
Watch the twist. Check.
Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Check.
Chopper.
Check.
Look at me. Go. Big rip.
On second down now. It's Williams. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And another timeout taken by the Colts. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's third down.
Yeah, let's get a sack line.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. And his kick is indeed good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Luck. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Colts send out their punter. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. $12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Got it.
48. Look, hey, we go Mike to 48 right now. Let's go. Hey, that's
Hey, Charlie.
48. 48's Mike. 48's Mike. Here we go. Check. 48's the Mike. Check. 48's the Mike.
Go.
Mike 48. Mike 48. Who that? Who that? 48. 48's the Mike.
Ready?
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
48's Mike. 48's Mike. In your face.
Yep.
Check. 48's the Mike. Check.
Get it.
On play action, no throw. He is going to find Hill here. There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Tyreek Hill, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Check out. 40. 11. 57.
Hey, Alpha.
Curry. Nice 57. 57's Mike. Quarterback, don't get
To throw on 2nd and 6. Luck. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, you don't want to see him.
Hey, Shoot.
The shotgun snap for one. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Hey, defense. One man. Switch. Slow.
Hey, wahoo!
On first down, Locke. Catch made here by Campbell. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Five.
Again, Locke. Campbell making the catch. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
11 feet. 57's the mic.
Bravo.
Watch the pass. Here we go. 57.
Clock throwing again. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They run the...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Ja'Kai Polite able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. And his kick here is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
All day, baby, all day.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check three. You go tight. You got tight.
Hey, lock it.
Sponge.
Hey.
No.
On the ground, this is Williams. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Baby weapon. Switch it. Go on. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Watch the screen. Check 9. Kill.
Leo.
Bang. He's checking. Crash. Deuce.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Fair. Hey, Haywood.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Check out. Right, 40. Let's go, D. Right.
Barber on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is long. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Let's get off the field, D. Middle.
On 1st down, it's long. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Campbell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Hey, Delta.
Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Squeeze, double. 57 to Mike. 12. Got you, boy.
Third and long. It's long. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his own.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, high 7.
Here's Luck. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Now, I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if a quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down,
Caused all of that.
it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
There's the party now. Whip.
Look at me. Go.
36. Check 99. Check 99.
Beat them.
This one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Check 43.
X3. 218. Chopper. Hey, exit. Go out.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Tight dog.
Hey, lock it. Go on. Hit it.
pitches it out, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Down. 10-2 stop.
Mike 37. I don't think you got it, son.
Hey, echo.
Here we go. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Man, I got you. Here we go. 30.
Ready?
They'll look to throw here. And going deep for Hill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. First down, they go with Barber again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. On 1st and 10, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. And he'll give it here to his running back. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got room. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Oh, yeah!
Go! 60 or.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, ready.
Mike, let's go.
Move.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. I'm going to run you.
Go.
I'm going to run you over. 48's Mike. 48's Mike.
Now.
2nd and 6. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. The probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, pushed their backs clearly against the wall.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
Check right, check right. Shoot, shoot.
Hey!
Slam.
Hard, hard.
They begin the drive with Williams. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Shoot.
Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
They're going to look to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They're not ready for this.
Hey, orbit.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Check 45.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
70, Indy.
Shit. Hey, alert 3.
Be careful.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Protein spill.
Switch up. Check 52. Watch the eye. Check.
Leo. Now.
Check 4.
Let's go.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Hey, Zoo.
He'll look to throw. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
A conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like you had green on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in, even though they have the lead, Charles, backed up so close to their goal line. They got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Wahoo!
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Shift. Check 26. Out. Kill.
Ready?
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Look, squeeze. Look at me. Go. Get it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Hey, Haywood. There you go.
48, Mike, 48. Okay, double.
Snap.
Back to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a toss left side. It's Williams. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Let's go. 60-or. 6-6. Pull it high. Hey, Sam on. 2.
They run it again with Williams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Check. Hey, lock it. Check, 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 check.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw there out to Williams. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with time running out as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
57. Mike, 57.
After the run, what going to throw? They'll rifle this one deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to win. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Hoosier State will celebrate tonight as the Colts have won it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.